Hi, this is Dr. David Schein. This is a special edition of Saving America designed to talk about a specific topic that is of great importance to America, and that is the service of the Attorney General of the United States. The Attorney General of the United States is the #1 law official in the United States government, the top dog. And unfortunately, part of the difficulty of America has been that we have had a series of bad attorney generals. The Obama administration had two in succession who did not deserve the title of attorney general and were a great disappointment to America and allowed a great deal of chicanery and improper conduct to take place without any penalty or any enforcement. Clearly a politicized agency, not worthy of the title of United States Attorney General. Unfortunately, as we begin to evaluate the Trump administration as part of my future plans, we will be updating the book, The Decline of America, 100 Years of Leadership Failures. We will be changing the title of the book slightly. It'll be 106 years of leadership failures or 110 years. We're still taking a look at that. But as we evaluate the Trump administration, a clear failure of the Trump administration was the position of Attorney General. As many of you know, as a political reward, Trump appointed Jeff Sessions. Sessions was a disaster. Not only was he not a good attorney, but basically he's an idiot and should never have been appointed to any position in the Trump administration if Trump was serious about having a first-class administration. Sadly, after tolerating a ridiculous amount of poor conduct and poor administration by Sessions, he finally got rid of him, and then he brought in the aging Bill Barr. Now, Bill Barr may have had a good administration 30 years earlier, but clearly this was not his best work. And he was a great disappointment, I'm sure, to the Trump administration and to many responsible Americans who look for our U.S. Attorney General to be a staunch supporter of law and order at the federal level. A person who has done virtually nothing to advance America's interest as Attorney General. And to have his swan song, as most of you know, he announced his resignation effective with the end of December. I wish he had gone sooner. He had a big press conference today to say that the 1991 Lockerbie bombing, where over 250 Americans died in a bomb that went off in a plane, and there's been very little enforcement of that. They announced that while they had identified two of the people who had bombed the plane, they have now suddenly, 30 years later, found yet another person to add to the hit list. And some of the commentary I've heard on this is so ludicrous. Oh, America is relentless. Oh, we're showing the whole world and all these nasty terrorists that we're going to really hammer them down. And to which I respond, appropriate for the season, Balderdash. What a silly statement. 30 years later, most of these people are terrorists. That's twice their lifespan once they've been identified as a terrorist. What was the right response? What should we have done? Well, let's take a look. Munich, 1972, a terrorist attack on the Israel Olympic delegation, 9 killed and plus a policeman. Terrible situation. 3 apprehended of the terrorists, later traded in a silly, ridiculous situation to release some other hostages that the terrorists had taken back in the 70s and 80s. So we've got nothing. We've done nothing to penalize the folks. But what did Israel do? Israel announced its plan called Wrath of God. If you want to see a little bit about that, and apparently it's pretty well documented, is the movie Munich, which was released around 2005 and talked about the dedication of Israel's secret service to go out and prosecute physically those who had committed this atrocity, this international atrocity, not just against Israel, but against civilization, an event designed to bring the people of the world together, an Olympic event targeted by terrorists who deserved to be destroyed. And that's what Israel did. And it took them years to do it, but they went out there and they hunted them down and they killed them. And that seems to me to be the appropriate response if you want terrorists to be afraid and to stop doing stupid things that accomplish nothing but anger against their so-called causes. And it's in our present day, during the Trump administration and even during the Obama administration, we've relied on drone strikes to take care of some of the identified terrorists. And that seems to be an effective strategy, one that has caused fear in the terrorist community to say, no, you're not going to get away. But 30 years later, announcing, oh, we've put this fellow on the hit list. I'm sorry, Mr. Barr, you've left office far too late to help America get out of there and let us move on with responsible business. Sadly, Barr's failures amount to quite a list. The Mueller investigation, ludicrous. Clearly, the Operation Crossfire Hurricane was an illegal act. I have not seen a single indictment, a single criminal indictment. I have not seen any of those people even lose their government pension benefits, which are paid for life. This is something that Barr could have done. What else could Barr have done? Barr could have appointed a special prosecutor to investigate the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden conspiracy to do business with both China and Russia and Ukraine, illegally trading on his government position. A true disgrace to America. And then number three, what about this election? Barr says, oh, there's certainly, in today's press conference, he says, certainly there was fraud in the election. But gee whiz, there's always some fraud in elections. I'm sorry, Mr. Barr, that's the wrong answer. Any fraud in a national election is a national disgrace, and we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm Dr. David Schein, and this has been a special edition of Saving America focused on the United States Attorney General and the recent appointments to that position. Thank you, and join us again in 2021 for a new series of Saving America.